Let me get the recording started here. I'll send it to you like last time, right? Okay, let's take a look here. Do you got a code for me?
Yes, I'm opening the BattleNet right now,
Right.
and for some reason it's taking a lot. So
Yeah, that's fine. No rush. Take your time. And we could look through your form here. So we had a session, not long ago. I know it was more of a team session, but we did talk a lot about like individual improvement and like mentality and stuff like that as well. So we don't have to go as in depth on that. We can kind of quickly go through the form, and then if you have any questions from last form, then we can kind of go more in detail with that. That way we get a little bit more gameplay review. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's look here. Hero pool, fine. How's your training schedule going? Do you think you've kind of got that sorted out, or is that a little bit better, or you think you're confident that you're doing the right things right now?
Not so much as a schedule. Like I don't have a certain time to do stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure that as you told Aries and me, to have at least 1 hour of training every day.
Right.
And max we can do is like 4 because diminishing returns, of course.
Sure.
Which is completely understandable. And I'm trying to focus more than anything on communication and my personal mechanical skills because that's the two things I think I'm doing not terrible at, but like the worst.
Yeah.
I think my game sense is doing all right because thankfully I come from other competitive games where tank is also a thing, so I think I'm doing okay in that aspect. And my flexibility is decent because I did play Overwatch 1 and I did play a shit ton of heroes. But my mechanical skills are still kind of bad because in total with every FPS game I've played so far, I probably have like, I don't know, 500, 600 hours, which
not
is
that
not much.
No. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, you're doing okay. Like as long as like you said, the training schedule is doing okay, then that's kind of like what we want to see, right? That's kind of the goal for us to improve at, and if we can get that, then we're good to go. Okay, let's keep going.
It's funny. You did get my message that I even less than what was it, like 12 hours I was already in diamond.
Yeah,
I was gonna try to get to master so that when we had the session I could say something like, not even a week and a half and I'm already a master. Thank you, coach. and then I D-ranked to diamond 3 and I'm sad.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, that's always how it happens. Like first off, you never know how the luck will happen, right? You might get good games, might get bad games, but also it's like I've noticed two things. Either somebody gets coaching and they get really, really confident, and so they play really, really well after the coaching session immediately. Or somebody is like playing really slow because they're like thinking a lot, and then they actually get worse in terms of rank, right? And then obviously they'll catch up and they'll get better over time. But like, initially they might actually play a little bit worse immediately afterwards. So, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like you're playing for the long run here. Like we're talking about, it takes a long time to kind of master Overwatch. So just be patient, set goals one step at a time. How has your training been going? So you talked about like you don't really have a structure, but you at least have an idea of like this is kind of what I'm aiming for with practice. How's that all going?
Right. So I basically emphasize in the part of having a clear goal of what I'm currently practicing. Because the thing is, since we sometimes have to work and everything, maybe not we cannot have the same time to join together to the game. I mean, Aries and me all the time. So we just went like, all right, as long as we dedicate the exact same time to the exact same goal every day, I don't think the time that we start at will be that important. And so we just been focusing on whether we start at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., we always give it the same amount of time to this to the goal that we have in mind, which by now, well, for me, it's communication and mechanical skills.
Right. Okay, works for me. So as long as it's working for you right now, and like you have a good like at least you're practicing the exact same thing like you said, then we're good to go. Do you have any questions with training structure or training schedule right now, or do you think you're good to go for right now?
For training structure, not really.
Okay.
Though I will say I do have a question.
Sure.
We talked about character specialization last time.
Yeah.
And my question was, for me as a tank, wouldn't that be kind of like diminishing returns? Because let's say, in the case I'm trying to specialize on 3 characters, and those 3 characters are like Orisa, Reinhardt, Ramatra, so like 3 bruisers.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe instead of Ramata, we could say something like, I don't know, fucking Junkerqueen, right? So
Right.
like 3 really close range bruisers, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't that mean, like, I mean, between the 3 of those, you can basically counter all 3 of them with like 1 pick, something like May probably, right? Except for Oreza in
Or
this
maybe
case.
like a map, like, you know, a Gibraltar, you know, or a Dorado.
Yeah,
It feels really bad. Yeah.
exactly. So my question was like, if I have such an important role to the game, which is tank, shouldn't I be at least trying to, like, if I'm gonna specialize on 3 heroes, should I try to specialize on like different I mean, yeah, like roles, like
So
instead of 3 bruisers.
you could
Yeah,
choose ranked by with those, and it wouldn't really matter. You'd be okay. But I will say, like, especially you're thinking about like playing as a team. You know what I'm saying? Like playing with a team, collegiate team, whatever. I think if you want to stay within like the quote unquote old school main tank archetype, pick up Winston. Right? You got a high ground hero, you've got bruisers, so you have that flexibility. Or if you're like, well, I want to learn like one off tank, right? Okay, then pick up a Diva or a Sigma, right, or something like that. So what I would do is, I agree with you, like having 3 tanks that all kind of have the same strengths in terms of building a hero pool, unless you really love those tanks, is probably not optimal. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's fair. Like we want to specialize, but we want to specialize in ways that kind of build a good structure. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That don't specialize too many eggs in one basket. At least if you're playing to be a good teammate. If you're playing to just one trick to GM, it doesn't matter which play, mate. You could one trick Reinhardt, one trick Ramatra. You could make it work, you know. But if you want to kind of like, hey, like we want to play dive on Dorado or Gibraltar, or you know, there's a point in Ilios where you want to, like, okay, whatever. They'd pick up a Winston or pick up a Diva. You know what I'm saying? Or a Ball. Right? You could do Ball. Like Ball would complement your strengths there as well. So for you, it's going to be like finding which one of those do I like the most. Do I like Ball? Do I like Diva? Do I like Winston? You know, that's the real question.
That would lead to my second question, because I did used to main Ball in Overwatch 1. And so would I think a decent hero pool would be Junkerqueen, Zarya, and Ball. Would that be fair?
Junkerqueen, Zarya, and Ball. Wouldn't be bad. You've got Brawl potential. You've got, I think Junkerqueen and Zarya are similar.
Right.
But Ball definitely covers a lot of the weaknesses that like, again, you think about like maps there, right? Like a Busan, you got a Ball. Dorado, you got a Ball. King's Row, you got a Junkerqueen or Zarya, right? Yeah, that would be fair. Like, you know, build a, what are the heroes I enjoy? What are the weaknesses that I have with my current hero pool, and build something out of that.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad.
Also, I was gonna ask, would it be a fair idea to push it a little bit more and add 1/4 character to that, which in my case will be Ramatra?
Well, how many hours are you playing on average per day right now?
On average per day?
Yeah.
Like between 2 and 3.
So 4 would be pushing it. It wouldn't be terrible, but it would be pushing it just a little bit. So I'd probably try to stick to 2 or 3. But if you were to add 4, you're playing a decent amount, so it's not too bad. Not too bad.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Any other questions with training or with schedule and on all that foolishness?
No. I think I'm doing fine.
Okay. Let's keep looking through this calendly here. Tank pool, we're working at that one. Long-term short goals in Overwatch. We talked a little bit about that in the last session. You want to be better with my cooldown management and positioning. Elaborate on that one just a little bit. What do you mean your cooldown management and positioning?
I just started writing down things that I consider mechanical skills.
Yes.
Because again, I'm not that used to FPS, so I'm 100% sure there's some clips in which, I don't know, I'm throwing my dagger when I really don't need to, or where it doesn't mean that I'm gonna get a kill. I'm 100% sure you're gonna see that like 10 times in whatever replay I send you, even if I won that game.
Right.
But you know, maybe you can give me a better blueprint of how I should think about tossing my dagger, because I can look back at my replay and recognize, okay, this is a mistake. I just don't have a way to think of it so that I don't commit it again, right?
Right. It's tricky though, because like you're never gonna be like, I think this is something that I learned about is the best players are the ones that don't make the same mistake twice, or they cut down on the amount of frequencies that happens. But I think that's a little bit naive to expect you to never make the same mistake twice. You're gonna make the same mistake twice. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. But can we prevent you from making the same mistake 152 times in a row? Can we cut that down to 130 times? You know, that's more reasonable. So for me, it's like, what do we need to focus on? How do we need to be focusing on it so that we cut down on the amount of errors that happens, or at least we, like, let's say right now your knives suck 85% of the time right now. Can we make that 65% of the time after a couple of weeks?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not even mechanics, just like, are you really focusing on that? And that's like, because the problem is that even pro players make like bronze tier mistakes occasionally, right? So you're never going to like fix the errors. We just want to reduce the frequency of the errors, if that makes any sense. Okay. Let's see here. And then you said your positioning. What about your positioning? Needs to improve, do you think?
I mean,
is it just
if
like
I have to improve my positioning, I probably don't realize it.
Okay. Fair enough. So your positioning at least is just something to work out, but nothing particularly huge or crucial or important.
I just wrote it them because it's another mechanical skills, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Makes sense. What do you feel is holding you back from improving mechanics and low experience? We talked about this. Sleep looks okay. Yeah. All right. Any questions, I guess, as a whole? Before we actually get into it here.
I think I'm good to go.
Okay. Sounds good. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot more to add here, so do you just want to take a look at your gameplay now?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I got your code here. VazCR8.
I don't really know if that should be the code that I want to send you, because again, when I see that replay, I'm pretty confident I can see my own mistakes.
Sure.
But then again, the other ones I won. So
okay, well, let's stop right there.
Sure.
Winning a game isn't bad. My question, what I want for in a replay code is something where you weren't sure exactly what the best way to play was, even if you did win the game.
Right. So the thing is, in my tier list of what replay is better to watch or show someone that it's better than you, so that they can see mistakes that you can't see, will be the ones that you think you played very well at, but you still lost. Because usually when you still lost, it's a sign that you probably made a mistake in some part. If the closer it was, the most likely you could have made that loss a win. And this one was a draw.
Right. Okay.
So that was my thought process there. Okay. But maybe there's another one better to show you. I don't know.
Sure. Well, off the top of your head, if you don't have anything that you think that was like, well, I was really confused about this, or I really didn't know what to do here, then maybe this is fine. But if you do think of something, just holler and then we could take a look. So is this you and Queen here?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll take a look at some Queen here. So is there anything recently that you've been practicing with Queen, or anything like mechanics or thought processes or anything specifically?
I'm trying to communicate the best I can with Ares, who's the Ana, by the way.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to make it so that I enable him to help me, like position in the right place so that he can keep healing me, and I'm not behind like 5 walls, but also being kind of close enough so I can aid him in case anything happens. I don't know, someone dives him, maybe I can pull them with the dagger, maybe I can give him a shout, something like that. It happened a couple of times in this game, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, mostly just trying to be a Junkerqueen that not only dives in and goes all in all the time, but also kind of help the team whenever they need it.
Sure. So because your shout is a dual purpose, right? It can be a great peel tool, but it can also be a great push tool at the same time. A lot like Diva, right? In that regard, where you can peel or you can push. Now, a lot of your decision making about how you peel or whether you push is, whether my backline's under pressure, and also, are you in a good position to push? So, for example, I look at this high ground right here. And if that Ana uses Sleep Dart, or that Hanzo messes up, or they get split, if that backline rotates through here, and you shout and use your axe and use your knife and use your shotgun, you could kill a lot of people, right? You could kill a lot of people. You're almost like a dive tank in that regard. You don't have a lot of mobility, but when you're set up, you are scary. But at the same time, you could also, like, let's say if this Doomfist engages here, you could shoot him out and axe him out and blast him out, right? So for you, it's like that very careful balance where I don't really want you stacked on your backline all the time. I think you give up too much space. You allow their DPS and supports to play too aggressively. But at the same time, if you see an opportunity to shout for defense or shoot people off, that can work as well. So if you're, for example, the reason why what I mean by like giving up too much space, let me give you a scenario. If you are here, you're in a great position to shoot their backline, right? Dropping their backline. So that Hanzo and Ana and Moira and Genji have to be very, very careful, right? They can't get too sloppy. Now, let me shift the scenario. You're sitting on top of Ares, right? Now, if that Doomfist dives your Ana, he's going to die, right? Because you're sitting here, you're ready to peel with shout, good to go, right? Good stuff. But what's the problem about where you're here? What does that backline think now?
They can all just go into the little room on the left.
They could even take the high ground, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Or they can rotate underneath. There's nothing scary anymore. So when I say you give up space, what I mean is when you go away from a position where you make the enemy squishies nervous. So for you got to think, is it better for me to peel off my backline, or is it better to make the enemy backline scary? You might look at the Doomfist, seeing him dive your Ana, and be like, I wish I could help, but if I go back and help, then my Ana won't die to a Doomfist. She'll die to a Hanzo, or she'll die to a Moira or a Genji or something like that. Because you have to think about, what is my hero good at, right? My hero can peel with your shot, but my hero can also pressure and keep my team alive by preventing the enemy team from. That's what tanks are good at, right? Tanks don't always peel. Sometimes tanks just control the enemy DPS so that they don't kill your backline. So we have to be very careful with how much.
By using that thought process, could I have avoided my Ashe dying there? Maybe
I don't think so. I think that just the Hanzo just hits a shot from a million miles away. You can't really pressure the Hanzo over here, right? So you can't do anything about that. He just hits a shot. Your Ashe probably should not have re-peeked that. That's just a mistake.
That happened twice, by the way.
I mean, it happens, right? It's Hanzo. You know, he's a sniper. Now, what I will say here is this Hanzo should not be allowed to hold high ground, even though you're down one. You know? This is space that you control. This guy should be gone. Screw off.
Exactly my thought process there.
and that's what happens, right? Bingo. Even though they're up one, they got too greedy, they got too aggressive. You should have been peeling off the Genji, right? No. This needs to go. Because if this guy stays, he kills your team. This is great. This is phenomenal. Now we can turn around and peel with the Genji. And then now we walk forward. We get that Ana back. That was really nice. Let's just watch this, by the way. This is pretty funny. Right back down. And they're on Cassidy too. So the Cassidy is actually interesting because the Cassidy is like, oh, I don't want to play Genji, you know, whatever. But you know what? You could really beat up a Cassidy too, can't you? Right? So we've got a lot of DPS and supports right now that we can control on the enemy team. The only thing we have to worry about is like we don't want to go too aggressive, and we don't want to get slept. Right? So we need to be careful.
By the way, just as a heads up, I'm gonna say this right now. I still call Cassidy McCree because I'm just used to it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just call it Cassidy just because
I just want to make sure nobody.
You're good. You're good.
Emotionally,
it's not that big of a deal. I just call it Cassidy because I just try to get in the habit of it. You know. It's like right here. Should you really shout this? Do you need the speed?
Right.
Do you need the HP?
No.
Because your axe is like whatever. You're gonna hit him. You're gonna do some damage. You know, obviously maybe if you punch, that would be bad. But you're gonna get it back in like 6 or 7 seconds. You're good to go. You know, whatever. But your shout, oh boy, right? Because you don't have your shout now for 14 seconds. And so what does this mean for the backline?
They're good to go.
They're good to go,
I can't really
right?
peel for anyone.
You can't really. Not only can you not peel, you can't really push them if they go aggressively on you. Like this Hanzo goes, oh no, shout. Well, I can walk up, take an angle. She can't really punish me as much, right? I'm not scared of the HP. I'm not scared of the speed that she has. That she could just bam, right? And it was just a Doomfist, right? Just you can handle a Doomfist by himself, right? Surely. Like even this, probably don't. You notice that like just a Doomfist doesn't kill people usually. You're probably good.
Yeah.
Now we need shout. We desperately need shout, don't we? Kill this Kiriko. Maybe push in the Hanzo. I don't know, but we need shout. And that's too much space. Too much space that we gave because we don't have a shout. Now here probably shout because this fight's lost. Oh no. Wait. Okay, not quite. All right. So we need that shout because that's what peels, but also that's what allows you to chase. It's like the speed boost that closes the distance. All right, come on. Yeah!
I got her at least.
Yeah.
I went down like a fighter. Oh, don't watch this. Don't watch this.
I'm gonna enjoy this. Let's just enjoy this for a minute. Okay, next fight. I was reviewing. No, you're good. I was reviewing with John earlier, and he said he was grabbing food or something when they cap point, and the Hanzo just goes, or the Ash just goes ping ping, and just kills him on Reaper. It's like, oh no. It's always the worst time. It's like when you get rezzed on by Mercy, you're like, wait, I was like, oh no, okay.
I'm kind of mad there because I have a mic, I can talk to my team, and I was trying to type something because I just didn't want to talk.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, this is what we talked about, right? This play doesn't work if you don't have shout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You hit a great knife, but now you probably get punched out of this. He misses the punch. That's kind of unfortunate for him. But this speed allows you to quickly slam right into her face. I will say you need to be careful of Sleep Dart, though. You need to be careful of Sleep Dart.
Yeah.
A better on here probably sleeps you. But that being said, this is the right idea. Do you know what I'm saying? This is the right idea. This is what your hero is really good at. You have your own personal speed boost to go around. Imagine if Roadhog had his own personal speed boost. You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's kind of like what you are. You don't have the heal sustain. You don't quite have the range with Hook, but you don't need the range because you have the speed. That's what gives you range. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is kind of silly. You know, that knife. You're better than that, right? Come on. You can hit this knife. Look at this guy.
My bad.
You gotta hit that knife. Because you hit that knife, you pull that sucker in, you axe him, he's dead. You know? Fight's already won, but that's free ult charge. It's free ult charge, it's a stagger. Oh, and I will say this.
My defense, I already have my ult.
Well, that's true, but I guess it's free ult charge for your team, right?
Yeah.
And it denies. So I will say this as well, by the way. I like high ground as Junkerqueen a lot. You don't always get to go to high ground because you're kind of slow. But if you ever get the chance to go to high ground, I love it. You tell me why.
You probably get a good chance of them not seeing you coming and drop on them with an axe. Also, sometimes something like, I don't know, the Hanzo doesn't see you and he's climbing that high ground.
Yeah.
If he's there 1v1 stuck with you in a high ground, he's dead. He's not gonna survive that unless the Kiriko's like really good and comes in clutch with the Suzu.
Check this out. Can you refresh the stream and check out Paint?
Yeah.
Righto. So we talk about Winston, right? Winston's like high ground because you don't have to use jump to get onto people. You can just drop on them. So like if we've got our little ledge here, right? You know, this is our little building. That is a building, just FYI.
It's fine.
You know, the enemy team is like he's able to cheat. You know, you're the same way where you can drop onto backliners and skip the enemy tank. Now, sometimes you want to shoot the tank. Like, let's say if they're on Winston, or, even Doomfist, not too bad, right? But if you see an Ana without Sleep Dart, Cowabunga, right? It's like you're doing a cannonball into the deep end. You know what I'm saying? You just drop on them with your shout, with your axe, and you light them up. Now, let me ask you another question. Let's say this tank is on Reinhardt. You really need to use high ground, don't you?
Yeah.
Because you can beat Reinhardt in a 1v1, but it's really hard. It's really, really hard. You got to spam a shield. You have to try not get pinned. You don't really want to match a Reinhardt toe-to-toe. So we need to avoid him, play high ground, drop in his backline. So you talk about the element of surprise. Let's go back to the actual gameplay here. The element of surprise is a big one, right? But even if you don't have the element of surprise here, let me know when you're back in.
Yeah.
Okay. Even when you don't have the element of surprise here, where is the backline supposed to go when you're in high ground that you can't reach them? Here? Nope. Here?
Nah.
No.
Best they can do is stick together by the right, I guess.
Right. If maybe they send up their tank and try and clear you out, and they could poke you out a little bit, but then what do? You just hide behind cover, and you sit right here and you look down at them. You could even let them push card a little bit, and then you're just like, it's like this. It's terrifying, right?
Right.
If we get too close to try and help, you know. So I guess my point is that you're not always going to be able to go to high ground, but I see even your Ana coming up here, Ares. Oh my days! You're in the voice call with this guy. Hey, let's go high ground. Help me up in high ground. Help me out here. If any DPS push us, we kill them. If the DPS don't push us, we just sit here and wait for a fat, juicy, succulent backliner to drop on us, and then we just we beat the crap out of them. Just something to consider.
Right.
If you don't have high ground, you can't get to high ground. You will be okay, but it is going to be a little bit harder. Like right now, like who can you shoot? Nobody. We could shoot Doomfist. I mean, if we were a little bit more aware, we could see this guy and shout and kill him. But you are a little bit more limited. I will say though, it is pretty rough that we didn't see Cassidy or didn't hear him. That's a free kill. That's where we shout. Axe, he's dead. Also, this knife is disastrous.
Yeah.
Come on. You're better than that. I know you're better than that. Oh, come on. You're better than that. Oh, come on. You're better than that. And now you get your shout forced. But yeah, like we spend a lot of time shooting tanks here. Nice ult though. Nice. Will we get it? Will we get it? Almost. We get it. Nice knife. Nicely done. Huge carry. Ah, no. Tragic. Decent play, but the knives and the setup could be a lot better. The knife is partly mechanical, but it's also partly focused. I noticed this when I was playing some Queen. When I really was trying, I hit probably 20-25% more axes. Or not axes, excuse me, knives, right?
Yeah.
It's just like one of those cooldowns where the hitbox is a little bit small, so you really got to actually put effort into it. Okay, let's take a look here. Disaster.
I don't know who else to ask.
And I will say this as well. You're pretty good at killing a Doomfist. But, she's right here. You won't kill her, but you could force her out. And then maybe we can find from there. Yeah. Like, your hero... He's ignoring you. He's just fighting your squishies. They're running circles around you, right? Find that Ana. Find that Kiriko. Even the Tracer, right? You hit one shot in Tracer, you probably force a recall. Ah. This is so... Do you see how chaotic this is?
Yeah.
Just focus down on target. Oh, she's dead. She should die. Unfortunate. Okay. So, a little bit of positioning, a little bit of target focus, a little bit of knives. Let's keep going. Any questions so far, by the way?
No, not really. I'm just taking notes.
All right. Sounds good. We'll have some notes at the end as well. Oh, no. Hit the knife. Hit the knife. Yeah, nice. I mean, it's also so important because it's not only does it set up kills, but it's the healing, right? Like that healing from that knife, it matters,
Yeah.
Uh-oh. So, where do we want to be as soon as we possibly can, and why?
Probably either holding the corner that's really forward, or maybe on the bridge.
Yeah, why not here? This is spooky for the backline, right? You could drop in them at any time. You could clear out this Hanzo. You can hold this bridge right here, spam this Doomfist out, right? Get up here. You might play in lobbies where sometimes you go high ground and nobody follows and you have to drop, but you're not even giving them the chance to hold high ground with you. And you're also with Ares in a voice call who could come with you, right? Like this is silly. Do you see how like their backline feels inaccessible? It's because we're here. Get up here. Sneak up behind these guys. Ares, let's go 3, 2, 1, bam. Or see if we could shoot, bait out sleep dart, then push, right? Surely. Nice knife. Probably not worth using that cooldown on Tracer, unless you know she has no blinks. There it is. Any squishy gets close now, we run them over. Nice knife. I will say this though, we need to stop kind of spamming our axe too. It feels like all of our cooldowns are not great, right? Even a Tracer with being pulled, she will recall, so probably not worth axing there. And right now, you could be shouting and running into these guys with axe now, because they don't have sleep dart, right? And they're close, right? So let's go.
Right.
There's the shout. Maybe we ult this, maybe not. We really need to stop trying to axe. We ended up catching the Doomfist, but that was kind of an accident. That was an accident. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. My humor is completely busted.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I'm talking a lot about cooldowns here, but this fight feels really atrocious with our positioning. You know, like you're doing a good job with cover, which is a nice thing, but it just really feels like this backline is just inaccessible. You know, like we just need to be using these positions. I mean, look at this. Like if she uses sleep dart here, like oh my gosh, they're just dead. You just shout and bang, they're done. It's over. They're cooked.
Right.
Nice kill. So you'll need to practice your close tracking here, but like this fight's if you're able to get in that backline, it's over. You know, like you are really, really good at killing people when you get on top of them. Really good. Like you're like almost Reinhardt level. But the difference between you and Reinhardt is Reinhardt has charge, you have speed, right?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, everything is just going to be so much worse here from this position. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to keep saying the same stuff over and over again, but definitely to control high grounds and really think about our cooldowns here.
Right.
And again, that Ana is exposed now. Go. I know you have to worry about point, but this Ana or Kiriko should die, or the Hanzo. They just use sleep dart. It's time to go. Go. Great try. Great try. I don't care if you don't have the mechanics for it. She's moving too fast because of Curio. It happens. That was exactly what you needed to do there. You almost got the kill.
All right.
That is the correct play right there. We just need to be a little bit better. All right. Do you have any questions so far?
Is there maps where you would say it's not a good idea to get high ground?
You give me an example. Let's pull it up right now. Let's just pull up a random map. Let's just see what they give us. Hey, Shambali, perfect. Let's do this. Let's do this here. Because why are we using high ground with Junkerqueen?
So that we can drop on top of them in case they waste cooldowns.
So from this position here, do we have access to backline if they try and rotate cart?
Maybe if they're already in the corner.
Yeah.
If they're good, they probably will be in like the building on the left or something.
Potentially, right? But this is we can theoretically close the distance from here, right?
Right.
If the cart gets pushed up aggressively, maybe we have to play here. Here? What do you think?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just that if they have a backline like Ana and Kiriko, I probably will never. They'll never be close enough for me to actually drop on them.
Right.
Unless they're already capped the first point.
So from here, like let's say they've already capped the first point. Okay. Now you can access them, but like here's a question for you. Let's say you're on high ground here, and their Ana Kiriko refuse to rotate, and they sit over here, or the Ana refuses to rotate, and heals her team from here. What's the problem with that from Ana's perspective? Does she get good nade value?
No.
Sleep value?
No.
Can she do any good damage?
Nah.
She's kind of limited, right? Like even if they get the cart to like here, oh dear. If they get the cart to here, she's not doing anything now. So here's what you do. You sit right here and you shoot cart. And you keep your sniffer nose. All right, come on. She has to move at some point. Same thing applies to Zenyatta and so on, right? And it would be the same thing with like a Hanzo, right? Like if they're playing Hanzo, the Hanzo can't just sit here. He has to try and move, and then you punish him when he does. right? You can focus his tank or his DPS or whatever, and then at some point they're going to have to move and you move from there. All right, let's try this again. Restart back to lobby. Let's try a different map. Give me another map. What's a map that you maybe want to look at here off the top of your head?
Junkertown?
Junkertown, great one. All right, so that's an escort. And there you go. All righty. What do you think?
I mean, maybe I can start at the high ground in case they have like a dive tank or something, so I can protect my team from it.
Whoa! You just hacked it. So the high ground is also good even if you're peeling too. Nice. Okay, yeah. Okay, so cart gets to about here. Is it easier to push backline from here, or is it easier to push backline from here?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? This just gives you more cover so that you can reach backline easier. I mean, that's why high ground is good. It's cover. It's cover. It's cover that allows you to cheat the system, right?
Right.
So yeah, obviously high ground is good here, right? Obviously. Now let's get the second.
That one's really good. That
really
one's
good.
good.
If you get like an ult, or if you want to be sneaky, you know. Now I get it. You don't have a lot of healing, so you have to be very careful. But you're gonna notice something. A lot of high ground positions, if you can get there, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you hold the choke. Maybe you hold the choke here to start.
Right, if I can spare the time.
Right, but later on, if we get an opportunity to get to high ground, oh my goodness, you can drop on anybody, anywhere. You can rush across to here to kill their widow. There's so much opportunity. Now let's keep going. Give me another map.
Let's say, I don't know. What was it called? Havana, maybe?
Yeah, Havana. All right, Havana.
Even though people hate this map. After this one, can I show you something real quick?
Please, please. What do you think? Kind of rough, no?
Right.
Too far away. Yeah, so the reason why we want high ground, we can't use it here. So we have to play the corner.
Right, but if they do push the card really forward, maybe it becomes.
Maybe you could double back and sneak behind. Maybe, right? What about second point? A little better.
Just good in general.
A little better, right? A little better. A little better.
They might push the high ground in the first place with the stairs on the left.
They might. Third point.
Not really.
Not really, right? Not really. Even here, like maybe if you're here, but you could double back and sneak up on them from here. Maybe you just play the corner, right? So there's a little bit less high. Now, here's the life hack with Junkerqueen. Generally, because you want to use high ground, but actually compared to like a Winston or a Diva or a Wrecking Ball, you aren't the best. You aren't the best at using high ground. But that being said, if you have the opportunity to, you need to be using it. Does that kind of make sense? So like, you're not the best high ground tank in the game, but high ground is very good for you. So whenever you are playing Junkerqueen on a map that has high ground, you need to be using it. So if I'm playing Dorado, that's not a good Junkerqueen map because it's hard to get to the high ground. But if I'm playing Junkerqueen on Dorado, I need to try and get to high ground whenever I can, if that makes sense.
Right.
Kind of see what I'm saying? All right, show me what you got. What do you got for me?
Sorry, I'm just. It's kind of silly. I'm not gonna lie.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm all for silly.
But basically, Aries and me were trying to make like some type of like game sense and positioning study.
Nice.
So we just came up with this, and that's the reason I said the thing about starting in the high ground, so in case they have a Winton or whatever, I can defend them from them. We were doing an exercise like this in Chimbali Monastery of a game that on rank that we had. And so I basically just brought here, and I'm doing this like project here where I'm just getting all of the icons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just taking pictures in the game and separating them manually. I don't have all of them yet, but yeah. And so I would just come here and put them like the team that they have and the one that we have.
Nice.
And then, like, just try to think of strats and whatever, and if we have like doubts of what we're saying, we can just draw.
That's super cool. That's awesome. You're gonna be a better coach than I am. Holy cow. That's awesome, mate. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I love to see that. Yeah.
But with this exercise is the reason that I learned that in theory, because
Mm-hmm.
we at the end of it we were like, yeah, as Junkerqueen, I can't really benefit from this high ground if they play it two behind or they trying to go by the
Uh-huh.
building on the right. But
Right.
maybe I could start over here in case that the Wrecking Ball, in case
Yeah.
they have a Winton Wrecking Ball
Yes.
Diva or whatever, and they try
Yes.
to fuck up with the high ground. Now I'm here. Now they can't.
Right, right. I can prevent the dive from happening. And that's the nice thing. Like, you can always drop from high ground if you're like, this isn't helping me at all. But you can't jump to high ground as Junkerqueen. So you might as well start there, make a read, and then adjust, if that makes sense.
Exactly, because if they try any weird shit like the let's say I'm down here and the Wrecking Ball is trying to knock off my I don't know, let's say Sojourn, and she's up there with Anna and let's say I don't know a Junkrat,
Yeah.
but the Tracer comes from by that red line, and the Wrecking Ball is more like putting a hook over here and just jumping directly in. Now they're aggravating them. Like
Yes.
I can't really do much.
Yes.
The best thing I can do is just jump right here and press shout and give them like 50 HP.
Yeah, and you see their backline's probably too far away as well, so you can't even reach their backline, right?
Exactly. And if I try to do anything, I will have to go all the way around, and by that time, someone's already probably dead.
Exactly.
That's how we got to that. Conclusion of maybe I should just start in high ground, see if I can use it, and if I can't, I just drop down. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I like that. I like that logic a lot. I mean, that's what we talked about, right? Like the high ground, you hold it for your team or you use it for your own selfish dive purposes.
Exactly.
Totally up to you how you want to kind of leverage that. Yeah, this is super cool.
I just found it funny that this actually really worked for something.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course it works. Like that's the kind of stuff, like that kind of effort. Like it's not always going to pay off, but that's a good mindset to have. You know, try those things out, experiment, draw it up, and that's super cool looking too. Not gonna lie. All right, do you want to get back to gameplay?
This is literally made out of just screenshots.
Yeah, hey, it does the job. That's all you really need. You know. All right, let's get back to this review here. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of go on a little segue and talk about like the high ground and how we're using that high ground, right? So, and really that applies to every tank to an extent. You know, Reinhardt, start from high ground because you can pin backline. Sorry, start from high ground so you can spam backline. You can always drop to stop cart when you need to, but it gives you that option. We have a little bit of Zarya here. No, it's not Zarya.
I switched to her because I thought it would be a good idea, and then in my mind I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Yeah. Okay, let's check this queen out. All right, let's get a little more. So even like when you're thinking about like pathing here, I'm thinking, do I want to rush these guys down, and kill them, or do I want to take the stairs, walk up and clear high ground to make sure they don't get it back, and then use the high ground to go rush them later? I don't really know. These guys are really close. You might be able to just run them down.
Right. Just in the hypothetical case that the Hanzo can jump behind him, because the thing about Junkerqueen and Hanzo is that the dagger doesn't actually pull him if he has lunge because it's stronger.
Right.
So maybe I should clear out the high ground first, just to make sure that he's way back. And now that he's way back, I can just follow him down with shout, and he can't really do anything about it.
You could, or you could also try for it. You could try for it, and then if you fail, you go up to high ground this way and clear it out this way.
No.
Right. I mean, that's the nice thing about Junkerqueen, right? We talk about like close range heroes, right? Once you're on high ground, it's very difficult to remove you, because you're very strong in close ranges. It's going to be very difficult for them to remove you. And there you go, right? We create space. So what I would do here is I wouldn't rush things. I would go up top, and then we do a little bam, right? I mean, you still have your shout too, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. I just saw the Tracer dead, and I'm like, if I push shout and I follow him,
right. Now it might work, but the problem here is like even like from like a timing perspective, if we turn around, this is the problem, right? Half of our team isn't even here just yet. You know, they're not there to capitalize because it happened so fast. Probably would have been better to take a little bit of high ground, get a little bit closer to that Hanzo. You're like, oh shoot, you know.
Right.
Probably gonna work out okay because a kill is a kill, you know. But it feels a lot worse than it should.
Okay, fair enough.
Alrighty. Nice shout there. That's a good peel shout. You might as well. There's nothing else to do with it. So just make sure that he doesn't get that trade. And then this is the real problem. Defense, you didn't have to worry about as much as cart, and you started in a good position. Attack, you have to worry about cart, but you also have to worry about high ground. It's like a horrible dichotomy, right? So what I'd do is maybe push cart like to here, and then maybe try and clear top, and then go from there. I don't know.
Okay, fair. I did it the other way around.
What?
I don't know.
Something else.
Yeah.
You know, and by the way, this is fine. This is probably okay as long as your team can push the card safely. Because you being here means that the only damage from the enemy team is going to come from where?
From that little corridor.
Right there. Just straightforward. Okay. Which is nice, right? You can hide behind cart, right? You can just chill. We don't have to worry about getting flanked up here because you're sitting there saying, screw off, don't even try. If this Hanzo Cassie tries to show up there, they're dead, right? No. So just sit here, just wait.
Three, that was the word. Goddamn, I can't remember. I'm mad at myself here because if I waited just 0.1 seconds more to press E, I would have hit the 3 of them.
Yeah, well, it's also like your team just isn't here, you know? Like, this is just like one of those situations where, like, this is so greedy.
Right.
Like, maybe, but I don't know. You give up the high ground too. Your team is just in spawn. That's my major problem with this. You did what we talked about. We used high ground to get to backline. This is the right idea, but it's the wrong time because even though you get a fat, you know, like they're like, what's going on? Just sit here and wait, and then do the same exact thing a second later. Because oh my goodness, you do so much damage, but it doesn't. And you notice it doesn't matter now. And now we have to reset, go back at the top. I mean, I don't even know if you will do that. Actually, you probably just sit here. That's not optimal.
We just get a peek on the McCree and just go forward.
Cover. Shift. He's overextending. We axe. We miss the axe. We hit the knife though. We probably pulled the knife a little soon. Yeah. It just doesn't go. Oh, nice. We get the nano. Close the distance, you kill everybody. Can we get the Ana? Probably not. Force the fade. Then we can ult if we need to. We might not even need to, actually. Yeah, this is fine. Win the fight. Good shout. Ramacho dies, Tracer dies. Yeah, so like mechanically, nice job. You know, it feels all good and dandy, but you can see how this just felt so much more difficult than it needed to. Like so much more difficult. You set up really well and then just went in by yourself. Like imagine if you did that with Winston, you know? I'd be like screaming at you, like, what are you doing? You know, you're timing. Junkerqueen's the same thing, right? Now, unless you literally see I can literally one-shot all of them right now, and then you're like, I'm gonna break the rule. I think I can one-shot these guys. I'm okay with that. But you knew you couldn't. So why go for it? Also... Yes. Why are you doing this now? What was this before? You know? It's like you tasted blood once and you're like, bro, I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna do it again, right? Bang! Let's go. No? We shot out the cover. Like this fight was lost because you guys were down immediately and they also used 2 ults, but like I mean, even the funny thing is you don't even actually need to drop here either. You could just shoot. Like look at this Hanzo. Just shoot him and not, you might not even need to axe him. Just shoot him and knife him, and dude, they're gonna freak. You know what I'm saying? Either they're gonna die or they're gonna freak out, run away, and then you need to drop an axe whenever you're sure you get the kill. So here you're not really sure you're getting a kill, right? That Moriarty is fade, and so you're just in the middle of them. That's the problem. Use the high gun and spam. Look how close you are too. Like easy, high damage. They either back up and create space, or they fight you. And okay, I'm just gonna sit here and chill. You guys can't kill me. I'm just chilling, bro. And look at them. Look at all the space that you're creating here. You can do the exact same thing from this position, but be safer with it. And then shout and axe whenever you see an opportunity, right? Because the problem with just dropping immediately is that you're not like a Winston where you can just jump back out again, right? So when you've dropped, you've committed, but you didn't know about fade, you didn't know about sleep dart, you didn't know about nade, you didn't know about ram nemesis, right? So you just drop, and then you're like, if you don't instantly one-shot somebody, you might die too. So I like the last 2 fights. You've done the right thing. You've just not executed very well in terms of the timing, and you've hard committed on both of them as well.
Right.
Whereas you could just look for an opportunity. You could just spam and get them low, and then when they're low, they're going to start using their fades and their sleeps and their nades. And when they use those cooldowns, that's the trigger for you. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? Good position means that you don't have to use cooldowns to force their cooldowns. You kind of see what I'm saying? You could just press mouse 1 and use cover and force cooldowns. Like right now, we don't need to be here. We can go flank here, and I promise you, if you come here and you start shooting and start using your axe, what's going to happen to this Ana and Moira?
They're kind of just dead if they don't have cooldowns.
Right, and then what happens if they do have cooldowns? They're going to nade and sleep and fade and heal orb, and then what are you going to do?
Shout and follow them down.
You're going to shout, follow them, and kill them, and it's over. Right? And you don't need to do anything other than shoot.
Right.
I mean, this is all fine, you know. We could play on main. Sometimes you won't have the chance to go to high ground, and you're just going to have to play on corner, hit the Ramattra with your axe and so on. But if you see the opportunity to stage for a better position, you need to take that opportunity. Like right now, there isn't anywhere for you to go. Right? What are you going to do? Play high ground way over here? That's not what we want. We can't reach that backline from here. So what do? Where do you position? How do you play?
This scenario, I tried to go for the Ana because it's just kind of close.
Yeah, right. That's a good idea. Use cover, use corner, maybe payload, and look for somebody to overextend, right?
My idea was to get the Ana and then go all the way around and push them off the high ground or hit a four people axe, but then the Ramattra made it difficult.
Well, you wouldn't change this, would you? You're not going to be able to keep your Ana up, even with shout. Ramattra will not die. He will not die. So the best thing you could do here is what I would call sell your Ana. Let her die. Let Ares die.
Right.
You go kill these guys. You go kill them.
Right.
Where are we? Okay. Wait, you can't even go into here. Never mind. So like, yeah, just find somebody else, you know?
Right. Wait, you can't even go?
No. It's their spawn.
Oh.
Yeah, it's their spawn.
Damn. Okay.
Let's watch this knife. This is pretty funny. Wham! Nice. See, you do have the mechanics, you know?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah. I mean, that was reasonable. There's not a lot you could have done there. We're clearing high ground. Look at the positions their team holds. Garbage. You see this?
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Your DPS have all the high grounds. We can go flank. We can shoot. We don't have to use anything. I don't like the shout here. I know you're probably concerned about your team, so you're trying to shout them out in the open.
But I just saw too many shots and I was like, oh.
Yeah, probably don't need this. And then again here, what's the problem? Where are we actually committing? We're committing right to main. Your fastest access is probably through here. I mean, maybe this is okay, but we definitely want our shout so that we can go to cart, shoot, and then, oh, this Hanzo's here. Shout, smack this guy, right?
Right.
Because we don't have our shout, obviously the axe is just dumb, but you couldn't even access Cassidy if you wanted to. You can't reach him. He's too far away.
Right.
And so now we have to be like really disciplined, play cover. We need to hit our knives to set people up to get them to close to us. But you're just kind of screwed, you know? Nah, we need to stop pressing that button just for the sake of pressing that button.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I don't know what to do here, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is probably the best.
That's Nano and Moira ult. I just disengaged.
Yeah, you're like, crap, is this fight winnable? No, I don't know. You know, I think it's fine. There's no real rush. We have another fight. Yes. Almost. Your team is in spawn, so you need to be very careful, though.
Yeah. Here I have Ares, and I scream for Nano because I thought they will line up here, and...
Yeah. That's okay. Shout, get her. Nice. Stop. Well, I guess he's low. You can kill a Ramattra. Nice. You know, the game becomes easy when you close the distance with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you do so much damage. Okay. What are you doing? Aw, come on. Hit the axe. Nice axe. Wait, what? Blam! Nice. Okay, so Junkerqueen goals. What are some skills that you saw that we need to practice?
I gotta work on my timing because sometimes my position is right, but I have the wrong timing for it.
Dive timing, kind of dive timing. You know, I mean, it's dive, right? It's what it is. That's what it is. All right.
I need a better understanding of my positioning.
Better understanding of positioning. I like that because it felt like we just needed to put some more thought into it, right?
Yeah.
Positioning with cover and importantly, high ground. Looking for opportunities to pressure dive squishies. Remember when we talked? I think the big thing was like when you're able to take a good positioning with Junkerqueen, you can force cooldowns by just pressing mouse 1 and maybe your knife. Okay. And by doing so, it will allow you to set up shout engages where you can actually get kills. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Anything else? Remember our cooldowns.
Yeah, cooldowns. I'm pressing too much that axe.
It felt like you're just spamming them.
Yeah.
You know, you do need to practice your mechanics, of course. But the problem with what you're doing right now is you're not even practicing them. You're just using them. Like if you really are bad at your axe, but you're really focused at using it, or your knife, and you're really focused on using them, you will get better. But right now, I don't think more practice is going to make you a lot better. I think you'll stay about the same because it doesn't feel like you're really focused. You know what I'm saying? So the only way to practice that is just by focusing at it, and then your mechanics will get better, and you'll still miss most of your knives because it's hard. But you'll hit a lot more than what you're doing right now. And when you do miss, it will still be good practice because your brain will be turned on. Do you have any questions?
Nah, honestly, I just have a lot to work on.
Yeah, there's a lot to work on. There's a lot of good things, though. I felt like we did look sometimes for opportunities to utilize high ground. We were in the right mindset of let's kill squishies, right? But we weren't always setting ourselves up to do that very well with our positioning, right? And I do think when you were really focused, your mechanics actually weren't that bad. You just weren't always utilizing your mechanics. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. If you do have any questions, you know the routine. You just shoot me a message.
Yeah.
And also, go ahead.
Before you do go,
sure, of course.
And you can stop the recording already.
Sure.